I am super charged to welcome you to today's episode of Today's Woman. Our main purpose, as you know, is to tell you our truths, and hopefully this will inspire and motivate you to be the very best you can be in your personal life, in your careers, in your endeavors. And as always, the new season, we will feature different segments, and they are specially designed to give you a pleasurable experience back at home. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a quote of the day. I'm talking about trendy tips to help you along the way. I'm talking about featuring a woman of the week. I'm talking about our super guest who is going to be here. And as always, I have my filter. My voices, your voices, and they are going to make sure that we feature pertinent questions to answer any issues that they may have back home. My name, as always, is Janice Sunko Mills, and I am excited to be your new host of Today's Woman right here on TV3. Now, like I said, and I always say, I ginger myself up with this. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Indeed. So we are going to feature a daily inspirational quote to get you going.
Quote of the day. When you are balanced and when you listen and attend to the needs of your body, mind and spirit, your natural beauty glows. Christy Tellington.
I hope you enjoy the tip of the day. Now, you see, today, hey, they've put me up well, and I'm feeling so good. It's the same for all of us back home. You just need that little secret in your purse to keep you going. So don't go anywhere. See the trendy tip for today.
Tips to enhance your natural beauty. Your smile. A smile is your best accessory. Whether your smile is genuine or not, it can act on your body and mind in a variety of positive ways, offering benefits for your health, your mood, and even the moods of people around you. What you eat. Eating the right foods will help you look good and feel good as well. So ensure that your diet includes the proper vitamins and minerals necessary to promote a healthy eating regimen, and this will be reflected in how your body looks and feels. Value of exercise. Without proper exercise, we all tend to gain weight. Being in good shape is not only healthier and makes you look better, but it also makes you feel good about yourself.
Did you learn something good out of this? Yes. And I hope you back at home, it helped you uplift your game. I will pause for a minute because like they say, all work and no play. Don't go anywhere. We will pause for a commercial break. Keep your dial locked on TV3.
The host is styled by J Soul Fashion House.
So, this is where the charging comes in. Like I said, I met the brand before I met the brains behind this brand. This is an amazing woman. Today we're featuring a beautiful and charming lady. Do you know what I call her? I call her my gorgeous Chiquita, my muy caliente, Sharon Acheampong. Please scroll her profile for me.
Sharon Acheampong is the founder and CEO of EYA Naturals Limited, a Ghanaian company that produces and markets natural hair care and natural skincare products and manages natural hair salons across Ghana. Her company has won multiple awards, including an award of honor from the Global Business and Entrepreneurship Summit and awards in 2022, as well as Outstanding Cosmetics Company of the Year award and for Creativity and Innovation in the Beauty and Cosmetics Sector award, both from the West African Regional Magazine in 2021. Sharon is also a marketing and strategy consultant and works with both international and Ghanaian businesses to enter the market and grow their presence. Sharon believes being able to combine her passion, education, and skills places her in an exceptional position to bring Africa to the world while bringing the world to Africa.
muy caliente. Sharon, so good to have you.
So good to be
Look
here.
at you, looking oh so suave.
Thank
It's
you.
not easy. Oh my God, have a seat.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
I'm
here with you.
We are supercharged, ladies, right? We are supercharged.
Yes.
You know, I share a background with you. And that background is, you see how we are all dolled up. We were not born like this, huh?
No.
Well, were we?
No.
Yes, Tell me, please tell me, who is the human behind Sharon?
Oh, who is the human behind Sharon?
Yes.
It's me. I am Sharon. And what I have been up to in my life has been interesting things, some not so interesting, but that's everything that makes up who you are, right? And I want you to go into details into what you want me to talk about.
Yes.
And then I'll start digging way deeper.
So Sharon, you know what? Our character on this program is to dig in into the truths, what makes you Sharon. So I'm going to dig a little bit, not too much, about your family, your background. Tell us where the interesting, juicy things are. So introduce me. How many of you were in the family?
I have 8 siblings.
Okay.
I have 5 brothers.
8?
8. So there are
1,
9
2,
of us.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
Plus you 9.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God, let's give it up. Tell me about this.
So 5 of them were boys and the rest are girls.
Okay.
And I am the first girl.
Oh.
And I like to think that growing up, I was treated a little bit different socially when it came to the girls.
How is that?
Oh, I feel like the guys could go to parties at night, even if it's not at night. You always had a curfew. If you want to go to a party, my dad will take you.
Your dad will take you to the party?
Oh, he will take you to the party. He will wait for you and then take you back.
He will wait for you?
Yes, and take you back. But the guys could go by themselves and come back whenever they wanted.
Okay, so the ladies, the 4 ladies,
yes,
he will chaperone you to the party.
Yes.
And wait for you.
Yes. Yes.
Times have changed though.
But guess what?
No, tell me.
When it came to education and studies,
yes,
there was no clear distinction.
Okay.
You had to bring it the same way as the guys were bringing it.
Yeah.
And I actually had an interaction with my dad that really puts a bit of stress on me. But thinking back on it now, I realize how much he believed in me.
Okay.
As whether I was a girl or a lady, he didn't. When it came to studies, he didn't care. He expected that you actually bring your best.
But I think that's a good thing, though.
Absolutely.
Not to differentiate between your children.
Absolutely.
What the ladies can do, the gentlemen can do. Everybody can do the same.
Yes.
Everybody can excel at the, when given the necessary push. So I think we have to give kudos to Daddy for that. He did a fantastic job on that. Now look at you.
Yeah.
You are rocking. Now tell me, amongst 9 of you, was there sibling rivalry? Was there competition? Was there, should I call it sibling pressure growing up?
My brothers always bigged me up, right?
Okay.
My oldest brother would always tell me I'm going to be a star. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why he always said that, but he always said I'm going to be a star. He would call me Sharon Stone, like a lot of people, but he had his meaning behind it.
Okay.
And for, like I said, from my dad's point of view, let me actually tell you a story.
Okay,
really short one. So my brother, who was ahead of me, we got into college at the same time.
Okay.
And we applied to colleges in the US.
Okay.
So we both got in at the same time, 2 different schools. But we hadn't heard back in terms of the financial aid, right?
Okay.
And if you know about colleges in the US, it's expensive.
It's very expensive.
There was no way my family could afford that without financial aid and scholarships. And I remember my dad telling me, listen, if it comes to us having to choose one person, you are going.
Really?
Yes.
That's nice. What do you think made him say that?
I'm not sure. I mean, I always heard from my siblings that I'm my dad's favorite child.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm the one who would challenge him the most.
one?
I don't know. I don't think, no, I wasn't spoiled. I think they will all agree that I wasn't spoiled. Yes,
Really?
I wasn't spoiled.
But you challenge him.
Exactly. I would challenge him in a very respectful way, absolutely.
Yes.
But if he said, oh, I think you should do science,
Yes.
and then I'll come up with all the reasons why I should
Not.
not be doing science.
Okay.
And he would actually listen to me because, you know, he would listen.
He believed in you. He trusted in your choices.
Yes.
So let's go to university. What did
We
you
all
major in?
we all got in, by the way.
Hallelujah, that's a good
We
one.
were able to go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and what did you study?
I studied economics and math.
Okay.
Yes.
Before that,
Oh,
I know there's a hidden story.
Oh,
The
yes.
commercial part
Oh,
of
the
your
commercial part.
Yes, tell me that.
So that wasn't studied in school.
Okay.
Believe it or not. In secondary school, I did economics, geography, maths, that combination. But even before I got to secondary school, I would sell stuff. And it wasn't something I chose, honestly. I was still quite young.
What were you selling?
I was selling plantain.
Plantain?
Yes.
Body.
Hey. Both ripe and unripe, by the way.
Oh.
Yes.
And how are you? On your head?
On my head. On my head.
I have something in common with you.
Yeah. You did that?
Yeah. My
Imagine
grandmother,
that.
because my grandmother then was looking after her children, her grandchildren, other people's children, etc. So she used to sell kenke, she used to sell chewing sponge, and mine was a chewing sponge.
Chewing sponge, sawe.
Yeah. Sawe, takocha. They used to call me the lady of the lot. So then they would put the takocha on the tray, and the lady that I was, I'll be holding the tray like
on
this,
your side,
you know? And then my cousins would take my tray and sell my takocha because I wouldn't sell it. I was too shy to say tire or whatever it was. I wouldn't do that. So they would do that for me, and we'll come back. And my grandmother thought that we were all winners. Did you sell yours yourself?
I did.
Oh,
so I would usually go with someone else,
Okay.
right? Because I was still a bit young. So I'll go with another lady. And most of the time, so I normally went on weekends, right? Because I'm going to school during the weekdays, mostly Saturdays.
Okay.
And so Saturday early morning, we will set out, we stay around in the area.
Yeah.
We sell almost everything and we come back. And then we come and make accounts.
Good on you.
Yes. If I gave somebody into so, I'll say because I gave into so and it's kind of so.
So somebody
But
will
here you
see
go.
you like this,
Yeah.
muy caliente, and they would think that you never did that.
I did.
What lessons did you learn from that?
Oh my goodness. You know, sometimes you don't think about these things when they are happening.
Yes.
But after I started my entrepreneurial journey, I realized all these things come to you naturally, people think, but then it's what you've learned. So when it comes to keeping track of things, actually being able to stand in front of someone and sell anything, because now I sell, right? And I've never thought of myself as a salesperson.
Okay.
But now, I mean, I see anybody, I'm selling my hair products.
Yeah.
I'm selling my skincare products.
Yeah.
I'm telling you to come to my salon and why you should come.
Yes.
And those are key great skills that you wouldn't learn probably sitting into school if you're doing, you know, economic science or whatever. Nobody's going to show you how to sell.
Okay.
But I had learned that already.
Good on you.
And it was inherently
and
there.
How long were you away from Ghana studying?
I was away from Ghana for about 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Yes. So when I moved for school, after school, I stayed and worked as well.
Okay.
So I did a bit of investment banking, and then I went back to business school.
Okay.
Yes, but then I left the US and I went to France.
Okay.
But from France, I did not go back
So
to the US.
do you speak French?
Please, no pressure.
peu.
No pressure.
Un petit peu.
Un peu though.
Hey, there you go. So you came back to Ghana
I came
after
straight
10
from
years.
France to Ghana with two or three suitcases because I knew if I went back to the US, I wasn't coming back here. Yes, and
then did you get married? Did you settle down after, or?
I got married in Ghana.
Okay.
I actually started dating my husband when I was in business school.
You were to go to school.
No, I came.
And then there you were doing things.
I came to Ghana, so I knew him already.
Okay.
Believe it or not, he was my housemate in the US. But, I mean, nothing happened.
Shout out! What's his name?
His name is Yao Acheampong.
Shout out, Yao!
So when I came to Ghana from school for a short break, right?
Okay.
So I reached out to people I knew. So I called him and I was like, let's go and eat kinky. And that's what started it. We went to eat kinky and then we never stopped.
Courtesy kinky.
Yes.
You never stopped.
We never
So
stopped.
now you've been married for how long?
We will be married for 10 years in December.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. It doesn't come on a silver platter.
No,
You
no.
have to put in the work.
Absolutely.
And how many children do you have?
I have one.
One?
Yes, one
Congratulations.
girl. Thank
How
you.
old is she?
She will be 9 in December.
Is she taking after you?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, that's nice. I'm so glad to know the story about you. So like I said, I met the brand before you. And this is because I also quit the corporate world.
Yes.
And I started a salon and a spa. And typically I believe in made in Africa for Africans.
Yes.
Tell me your story about EYA. By the way, did you know she was the CEO of EYA? You didn't know. So now you meet the lady. Tell me the story
Hello.
of EYA.
So with EYA, like I said, when I moved back to Ghana, I was in the corporate world. So I was the head of strategy at Guinness. That was my last role. And when I got pregnant, so I was on my maternity leave. And I had already started playing with these mix-ins for my own hair.
Okay.
And
your hair looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
Is that
Thank
all
you.
yours?
It is all mine, yes.
Proudly African.
Yes,
I love it.
yes.
You look good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I started getting questions about what you use for your hair. So I would make some for other people. But that wasn't really what kicked it off. I had a friend who was getting married, and she asked me to make products, these small products for favors, right? That's what they're called. When you get the gifts you give out. So there were a few hundred people, and she was like, put your name on it, put your logo on it. I didn't even have a logo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, run, let's go make a logo.
Yeah.
And so I got people calling me. And from that, I got another wedding order. I got people calling me. I used the products.
Nice.
And so at that point, nobody had to tell me that this was a viable business.
Yeah.
And so I started working really hard on it to try and get other products because there were only 2.
What does EYA mean?
EYA is actually my daughter's initials.
Oh.
Yes. Her name is Acheampong.
All right.
And I was too lazy to come up with a whole new name, so I stole her name.
But that's all the story behind the brand.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't know where it comes from, but it has this meaning to you.
It
because
does.
EYA basically is your daughter.
It is.
So you invest everything. Did you have to study how to make products, understand the ingredients, etc.? Did you have to go to school for that? Or it comes to you naturally?
Oh, no. I had to read a lot of books. Watching videos, signing up for classes online, YouTube, everywhere that you could get the information, talking to people. Luckily, I knew someone who was already in the cosmetics industry, so it was good to talk to people like that. And I learned it by myself, really.
By yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
No schooling.
Huh?
Yes.
You made the effort yourself to develop your skills.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Please give it up for
Thank you.
my muy caliente Sharon.
Thank you.
Now, I see that most of these ladies have natural hair. They are all wearing some African look. So if you were to advise her, what would you tell her to do for her hair?
Oh, the simplest thing.
Yes.
Moisturize. Number 1, 2, 3 is moisturize your hair on a regular basis, because our hair is really coily.
Yes.
So it's very easy to break if you're combing it, or however we tend to do our hair to style or just comb out.
Yes.
So once it's moisturized, it's easier to maneuver.
Okay.
And some people tend not to do that.
Okay.
Sometimes we have braids and then we forget about that. We still have to moisturize the hair because then it really dries out.
Okay.
And then it breaks up. But we all want long hair.
Yes.
We all want a bigger afro, longer hair.
Yes.
So that's one key thing that I normally tell people. If you
Now
forget everything.
what's the difference between oil and moisture? Because the tendency is people think when you put in oil, it means that the hair has moisture.
No.
Is that really the case?
No, that is absolutely not. So moisture is always water.
Water.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're moisturizing your hair, you can include oil in it, right? However, before you apply the oil, you apply the moisture, and then the oil will help seal in the moisture.
Okay.
If you just put the oil on, you're just piling oil over and over
Okay.
onto your hair,
Okay.
and no moisture will be going in there.
Oh, okay. So
That's
how's the
key
business
difference.
doing? Tell me about Acheampong.
It's doing well.
Yes.
We are making strides. We still have a lot of work to do.
How long has
Okay.
it been?
I've been doing it for 8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
know it's not easy
No.
to be in business and
You know.
sustainably. I
You
know.
know.
To be in a sustainable business for 8 years, I
Yes.
must give you kudos
Thank
on
you.
that. Do you manufacture here?
We do. So we have a manufacturing place that we have in Spintex right now.
Okay.
So I have a team that does the manufacturing.
Okay.
Of course, I'm part of that team.
Okay.
But I have a production manager.
Okay.
And so everything gets done here.
Oh, that's amazing. You know, because I believe in consuming what we produce locally,
Absolutely.
right? And I find it difficult, and especially today, Forex is pretty damn crazy.
Ooh.
It's going in a spiral right
Yes.
like this.
Yes.
That I am very supportive of local businesses.
Yeah.
So if I look at your products, do you source most of the materials here?
Yes, most of the materials are sourced here. Right now, we source our packaging outside of Ghana.
Okay.
But I'm working on changing that.
Okay.
So we will have our own molds.
Okay.
And then we will give it to a manufacturing company that makes bottles in
Okay.
Ghana. And then they will make the bottles for us.
Okay.
In that case, almost like 90% or more
that's good
of the
on
things will
you.
be coming from.
If you joined me today, we are hosting the beautiful Sharon. We've been talking about amazing things, but we have to go on a short break. Please keep your set locked in on TV3, and we will be right back.
The host is styled by J Soul Fashion House.
Welcome back to Today's Woman. Just before we went on a break, Sharon was telling us about her local manufacturing setup. Sharon, do you know this thing about Ghana, that we don't believe in locally made products? And when you talk to people, it's the packaging. You don't have global standards. Your quality is not consistent, etc. Tell me your story and how you've been able to circumvent all these issues to get your brand going.
Okay, so that's very true. We definitely got into that mindset. People still have that mindset, unfortunately. So I felt like it's been our jobs to try and convince people that made in Ghana goods are just as quality as other products you find coming into the country. And I think for us, or for EYA, some of the things we've been able to do is change the packaging. So in the past, we had this packaging that mostly when you walk around with most of the made in Ghana goods, you find those in. So we had to change that. We changed the labeling for quality and consistency was really key, right? Because we mix a lot of these things by hand. Now we have machinery, but even some of them still we use our hands. And so the consistency goes up and down.
That is true.
Exactly, right? So in that case, when people say that, yeah, it could be true. However, we are working really hard to make sure that doesn't happen. So consistency is key, and making sure the products are quality is key. So we make sure we take our products to Ghana Standards Board to test them before the FDA approves them as well, so that you are assured that the products you're using have been tested and approved by the FDA, you know, like they say. So that takes care of quality and consistency. It's when you're making these products, it's like you're making, think of like food, where you have ingredients, right? Even when you pick up the products, we write the ingredients behind. So you have to make sure whenever you're making them, you're consistent in what you measure, right? So if your water is 80%, it always should be 80%, right? Because Janet, you don't want to go and buy my shampoo, and then today is
20% water,
and it's thick, and it's this and it's that, and you're not expecting that. Even when you're buying wache, they may be using their eyes. When you go today, you buy it, you like it. Tomorrow when you're going, you want the same thing. It's similar. It's actually probably more than similar. It's a bit more of a higher grade when it comes to that. So those are some of the things we've been doing to make sure that people see us as professional.
Well, good on you. I think
quality.
that's very, very important
Thank
because
you.
you have to maintain the standards and the quality.
Exactly.
Now, as a fellow entrepreneur, I know it's not easy
No.
to survive as an entrepreneur in Ghana. Tell me some of your challenges that you faced along the journey.
So I think for an entrepreneur in Ghana, right? Because you could be an entrepreneur somewhere else, and some of the problems may be different.
Yeah.
But in Ghana, it could be as simple as the people, and sometimes when you think about it...
Well, I find the people part the toughest, actually.
It's tough, right?
Yeah.
It's really tough, right? But for me, I think that sometimes it's how much money you have, and maybe you can't afford the people, because we have great Ghanaians. We have people who are really skilled, who are smart. But I feel like we were at the point where maybe we couldn't really afford that.
That is true.
So then you get the people you can afford, and then you keep growing with them. Or sometimes I think if you talk to any seasoned business person, they will tell you the people you start with are not necessarily the ones that you end with.
Yes.
Which is totally true, right?
Yes.
Because you get to a point where maybe, say, the person you started customer service with, maybe you start with someone who maybe just graduated from SS.
Yes.
And you start with them. But then as your company grows, you realize either you
have to up your game.
Exactly. Either you're trying to help them move up.
Yes.
In terms of education or whatever, but as a small business, you probably can't pay for somebody's unique education or diploma. So maybe you do have to, go up and hire someone who is more educated, more trained, etc.
Yes.
So I feel like that problem, we probably all experience it. I'm sure you've experienced it. People is tough. Finances is key too, because I've been doing this with my own money. I don't have investors. Yes, I don't have investors.
How long did it take you to turn around?
So I started really small.
Okay.
So it took me a few months before I started making profits. So that was easier.
So the key thing is to start small.
Yes,
and
I
learn
think that works. Yeah, I think that worked for me. Sometimes I wish I had gone bigger to start with, but you always feel like you should have done the other way around, right? You always have that. So I don't really worry myself about what I should have done or shouldn't have done, because the time has passed.
Yes,
it's what you can do now.
That is true.
Yes. So people, finances, and for us, some of the things I just mentioned, because you're making products, so consistency, quality. We had to work through all that.
Yes, that is really true. Now, let me ask you this interesting question. If you were to meet your 18-year-old Sharon today,
yes,
what would you tell her?
Okay.
Or let's say 20 years old.
18. Okay.
Yes. What would you tell her?
Who?
Would you say, girl, stop what you're doing, do something else? What is all this economics? Just go into business. Or, girl, please do it better. What will you tell her?
I think I will tell her to try a lot of different things.
Okay.
For me, at 18, 20, I was in uni. And like I said, I went to school in the US. But I hung around with mostly Ghanaians and Africans.
Yes.
But there were so many other people. I actually found myself in a very international setting. But I did not explore that much. Okay. So that's one, the people, just network. And even if you're in Ghana, network with different people. Not just your close friends that, you don't have to go tell them all your secrets or whatever it is that you worry about, right?
Yes.
But just learning from them.
Yes.
How was your life like? How are you living? How are you... Like, I'm sure you have questions for me, right?
Yes.
Don't wait for an opportunity like this to ask questions of people that you think could answer some of these questions for you.
Yes.
Just do it now.
Yes.
And that's probably one of the key things I would
tell
tell
her
young Sharon. Explore. And it's not even just people, just experiences. Try things out, because then you really know what you like.
That is so true.
And life becomes easier when you're doing what you like.
But you have to do that with your learning.
Absolutely.
Don't pack one aside.
Oh yes. We are Ghanaian, so we don't play with learning. We don't play with learning. You merge both, right? You have your studies and you have your extracurricular activities. Just try everything. Like swimming. I was like, I'm scared. I can't go.
I don't know
swimming.
how to swim.
Yeah,
I also don't know how to ride a bike. I want to learn, but I'm always worried that I'll hurt myself.
Exactly.
And my sons tell me, Mom, you will not. I'm like, I'm going to fall.
Can they swim?
Hey, Charlie.
Exactly.
Don't
right?
mess.
My daughter is teaching me how to swim. It's like, Mommy, you can do it.
Please
you can
learn.
do it. No, I started and I stopped. So I can I can move around in the water. But these are some of the things that I could have easily learned.
Sharon, back to
For
business.
free.
I know you have a second brand.
I do.
Why the choice of a second brand?
So I think
What's the name of the brand again?
it's called Acheampong.
Kedia.
Acheampong, yes.
Another
Acheampong.
family name.
Well, it's
still your daughter?
It's Koforidua.
Koforidua flowers.
Yes.
Adwa Sewa.
Yes, sis.
Tell
Yes,
me about the second
So
brand.
I think this brand is actually a story of my failure that I try to, fix,
Yes?
right? Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I can say that most people don't like to talk about their failures.
Oh,
but
please.
I think it's
we
important
like it
that
on
we
this
do.
show. We
Thank
want to
you.
learn from our failures.
Good. So when I started EYA, my first two products were actually skincare products.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
So I always had skincare products. I had a body wash and some body oils and things, but it got lost under the EYA brand. I'm sure when you think of EYA, you think of hair.
Yeah, that's all I
Exactly.
do think of. Really.
So
yeah, do you think of something else?
no,
Just hair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I mean, it took me a few years, and I did a little research, just literally talking to people, right? Especially our clients who were patronizing us, right? If you told them, oh, when we have these skincare products, they were like, you have skincare? And we're like, yes, we do. You didn't know? And I'm like, no, we didn't know. So I spoke to people, and I realized, listen, the skincare is not going anywhere. And the revenue showed, right?
Yeah.
The revenue showed. They were speaking loud and clear.
Okay.
So I decided, okay, we need to stop this skincare under EYA. And so I thought about how can I solve this problem? And my solution was to come up with a totally new brand.
Okay.
That would be solely skincare.
Okay.
We will have totally different branding.
Okay.
Everything will be different.
Okay.
And then we will push that as our skincare brand. So that's how
What do you
KDR
say to
came
the
be.
ladies who bleach their skin?
Stop.
it.
You don't need to
Not
do
good.
it. It's not necessary. Our
At
skin
all.
is just as beautiful as it is.
Yes.
So we do not need to bleach at all.
And black skin does glow.
Oh,
in
black
case you don't know.
is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It glows.
Yes.
It's authentic. So if there's any message from Sharon, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Sharon.
Yes.
So I have these amazing ladies here. Ladies, this is your opportunity to interact with Sharon. Do you have a question for her?
I wanted to ask what exactly motivated you to keep pushing EYA Naturals, and do you distribute outside of Ghana?
Okay. So the first question, I think it's basically seeing results for me. That's what kept me going. Because when I started the brand, nothing existed, right? I started from scratch. Nothing is, like right now when you say EYA, it means something. And even from the beginning, that really pushed me because all of a sudden I have made something exist that didn't exist before.
You created something.
Yes, I created something.
That's
and
a proud moment.
It is, yeah. And people were relying on me to provide that,
Oh,
right?
lovely.
So you can't give up. And then after you start hiring people, they are relying on the company to provide their livelihood. Where are you going?
Nowhere.
Right? So things like that pushes me to do even better, to make sure we are growing so that we can provide even more for the people that we are working with, whether in EYA or supply.
Now that's a huge responsibility, yeah?
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I'm sure you know that.
Oh,
right?
I do
It
know
is.
that,
It
but
is.
kudos, well done.
Oh, thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you. And
Actually,
there's-
thank you for that question.
She had a second question. Yes, we do distribute outside of Ghana.
Okay.
So you can find us in Togo, Nigeria, Rwanda, in the US, etc.
Oh, fantastic. How is it doing there?
It's doing well. We can do way better.
Uh-huh.
By the way, I feel like I always say that because we can. but yes, we are in several countries. and we are trying to
Congratulations
push.
on that.
Thank you.
So how old is Aya? 8 years?
8 years.
We are celebrating the 10th year.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
soon.
Yes.
I'll
yes.
be coming to your factory.
Yes,
We will
please.
bring our
Please
whole
come.
camera crew
Yes,
to your
please
factory.
come. Please come.
Okay, so I want to know if EYA is only natural hair.
No. So we tend to market mostly to natural hair people. However, we actually have a set of products that you can use for your permed hair. We have moisturizers that you can use for your permed hair, but we normally market to natural hair people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so when you spoke about moisturizing your hair first,
Yes.
you spoke about water for a moisturizer. But then I heard one hairdresser some time ago say that if you don't want your hair to break, then you don't have to let water into it.
Please tell your hairdresser I said I oppose.
We both
oppose.
Okay, so my next question is...
Do you know why? Let me tell you why.
Alright.
So this human body consists of what? And what? Blood, whatever. But water is key.
Yeah.
We need water to keep our skin. We need water for our hair. So you can imagine if you had to go without drinking water for a day. This hair, well, not this one. This one is organic. Which means what? It needs food to survive.
Yeah.
There is no way under the sun you can go away not having water in your hair. No way.
Alright,
So tell your hairdresser she
they always
lied.
Tell
keep
your
it like
hairdresser
She
I
lied.
said yes. I
Alright,
said she
okay.
can come for me.
Right. So my next question, as an entrepreneur, and say you are into a business, would you say Kedria failed because you were trying to put it under EYA? And would you say it is surviving because you got a different brand or a different whole identity for it?
Okay, so I think the failure there is not necessarily because I tried to put it under EYA per se, but what we weren't doing was talking about our skincare products whenever we were marketing to people. We normally just spoke about hair, and then we bring in the skincare at some point, right? So if I were talking to you, I probably will talk about EYA for like 80 to 90% of the time before even I realized the skincare. And I think that's basically the mistake we did. And I realized I did that myself, and so my team was doing the same thing as well. And we all realized it. And when I brought it up, they were like, well, yeah, I forget sometimes.
Yes.
And I couldn't say anything because I forgot too. Because it was the hair that, once the business took off, became the main focus of the business. So it's actually something that can happen to any business. It doesn't have to be hair and skin, but it can easily happen if you are running a business and you have different umbrellas and you put so much focus on one, forgetting about the other. And I think that's where I failed in that brand, basically.
But right now, Kedia is doing well.
Kedia is standing on its own 2 feet.
Oh, that's nice. So the business has 2 legs now.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Exactly. We call ourselves a multi-brand company.
Hey. That's a good one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One more thing. I want to, okay, let me just ask. Because you see, sometimes when people realize that, okay, like you are doing well, say you have this brand, and then you have this, you have a hair section under, you have skin, say you have like some other stuff under it. People find it a bit somewhere that, okay, I'm pushing off my money into one person's business, so why should I do that? So I'd want to divert or channel to a different person's business or something. Would you still advise someone that, okay, because say you have a big house or a big place to set everything up, and then would you advise that, okay, put everything under one building or something? Will it help?
So you mean physical building?
Physical building, like the name, the everything.
Like we were saying before, when
Yeah,
skincare
before.
and hair care was under one brand. I honestly think it's how you market or push it, right? So for the example of EYA, because that's what we have, we were pushing it to the point that it became a hair care brand, you know? Whether we liked it or not, that's what it became. But going back, if we wanted to have changed that, we could have started and not necessarily call it a hair care brand and say it's a personal care brand, which is what I call my company now. It's a personal care brand because we're doing hair, we're doing skincare, and we're doing salons and spa, right? So all of a sudden you've covered all those bases. Now, if you have all these under one umbrella, you need to make sure your marketing does that and pushes everything at once, right? Or you can go the other route and say, I want to have different brands and push those. But it depends what you want to do. Either way, it's hard work, so you have to be ready, right?
Yeah.
So if you're building different brands, it's probably a lot of money, a lot of time and everything, because everything you do for one brand, you have to do for the other.
Yeah.
If you're doing it under one umbrella, you're pushing one brand, but at the same time, you're talking to a lot more people, right?
Yeah.
Your clients are different.
Yeah.
Although you have one umbrella.
Yeah.
So still, you have to put a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of resources, everything.
Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I would add to what you just said, sometimes too, it depends on the vision you start
Yes.
with.
Yeah.
If you start with a vision of wanting or coming up with a proposition to make African women look naturally beautiful, let's start with that as
Yes.
a proposition. You want to come up with a brand that makes African women naturally beautiful. So then you look at their hair, you look at their nails, you look at their skin, you look at everything that it entails.
Yep.
Secondly, it means that your brand promise will come up with a tagline that provides solutions to that. So let's say, let me use EYA.
Refreshing beauty.
Refresh your beauty.
Refreshing beauty, yeah?
Fresh and beauty, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so everything you sell is to honor that promise.
Yeah.
Therefore, it makes it easy
Easier.
for you to come up with different solutions under that brand, okay? And the brand will still be relevant. So I think that it depends on the vision you start with and how you go along that journey to bring the vision and the brand promise to life. Do you understand? Does it make sense to you? Fantastic. Do you have another question? Our last question for today.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, in terms of marketing, in terms of advertising, personally, I started like a hair brand like 2 years ago.
Okay.
But the marketing at the beginning was a problem. But you said yours is 8 years now.
Yes.
How was your advertising like at the beginning for you to be able to last? Because personally, my advertising at the beginning of my journey wasn't good. So I stopped. Because it's like, at a point, you can't keep relying on your friends to buy or people you know to buy. You need people to like recommend you. And then if no one keeps coming, it's like, yeah, producing, no one is coming. What's left of it?
Okay, so that's actually a good one. And I had the same problem when I started. Mostly for us, we use social media a lot. We've done some radio. But when I started, I wasn't a social media person. Now you see me on social media dancing, doing my thing. I wasn't. Even now, I feel like I'm not necessarily that big on social media. So I didn't go really hard on social media, right? But I didn't stop. What I did was find help. So I hired someone to do the job that I can't do or don't want to do.
Yes.
Right? And at that time, again, we had just started. So revenues were in there or whatever. But my cousin, who was always sitting on social media, it was like something she does all the time,
Yes.
right? And she would even push me, sis, you need to be on Instagram, because I was on Facebook. So I know Instagram is the thing. You need to be on Twitter. So I'm like, okay, Twitter, here we come. Instagram, here we come.
Okay.
And so I thought about it, and I'm like, this lady is always on social media. Why don't I tell her, okay, add EYA, and I'll pay you a monthly
Something,
fee.
token.
Yeah, she was actually technically my first employee,
Aha.
even though she's not necessarily an employee, and she works with me up till today.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, she's my social media manager. Most
Okay.
people think they are talking to me when they're on social media. It's not me.
Okay.
It's my cousin.
Okay.
So I paid for somebody else to do the job that I couldn't do or didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And that really made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because if I tried to do it, I would not be consistent, because I wasn't consistent with social media. So the key thing, do not give up. Try and find solutions for it. Maybe your marketing skills are not up to what you need. Just maybe. Get help.
Yes.
Try and get someone. And it doesn't always have to be like hiring a whole new person. It could be somebody who can help you, and you can pay them a little bit so that you're not just using them for free. Okay?
Does that help you? Fantastic. This is part of the show that I like, where we get to interact with you and ensure that at least we give some answers to your questions.
My name is Florana Ajele Ablo. I'm the proud CEO of Flora Hair. Flora Hair started somewhere 3 years ago. I had a work to do though, but then I was able to do the hair too. So I think one day after service, my pastor's wife was like, Flora, you know how to do the wake-ups and all that. Why don't you add it to your business? I was like, oh, mommy, I won't have time. You know how stressful my job can be. And she was like, no, since it's a gift and you're already doing it, but you already do it for people, so why don't you add it so that you can make money out of that? I was like, okay, mommy. And she was like, no, don't tell me you will think about it. And I told her, okay, I'll do it. So I think she gave me the first hair to do, and it was perfect. As in me making it one of my profession. I had a little money in my account, and so I had to bring everybody on board, even my boss. Sometimes he would be like, Flora, you are disturbing us with this hair. Then I would tell him, one day you would have to come to my office, take for my permission before you see me, because it will be something big. Sometimes I'll call my siblings and they'll be like, okay, hold on, I'll send you money for you to do the hair for the person. So it's been like that. It's been like that, and I can say that I don't regret starting this business at all, because my family has been there for me. Sometimes starting these businesses are very difficult, especially when you don't have the capital. But trust me, you will get there. Don't look back. Don't let anybody lie to you that, oh, don't listen to those voices, because they might want to be in your shoe one day. Thank you.
My muy caliente Sharon, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to my beautiful Chiquitas, my mini Chiquitas mentees, thank you. You did amazing well. And I hope the viewers enjoyed all your questions today. Viewers, if you've been with us, I want to say thank you to my production team. Thank you so much. You did amazing. Once again, see you next week right here on Today's Woman on TV3. Bye-bye.